Take two.
So it's been a little while since I've done anything to the machine. I started making a couple of changes because I've felt like I really need to get serious about rebuilding this thing. And knowing full well that I really need to redesign the whole machine anyway to make it more rigid and make it more usable overall. And what I've done is purchased a bunch of this extruded aluminum profile. I got a bunch of this stuff for not a lot of money. And I've already started working on building the Z-axis. This stuff is great. With the brackets all holding it square, it works really well. I'm still using the fully supported rails. I just took those off of the Z-axes there. So this machine will slowly be torn down. And I'm still going to use all of the same parts. It's just that they're going to be built on this aluminum profile, which will be a lot stronger, hopefully. So I started building the slide here, and it works really well. It honestly, just building this one part of it works better than I expected. So I need to build another one of these Z slides, and these will stand up. Oh, whoops. These will stand up vertically, like so, and you'll see that in the cat drawing. But and I got a couple more parts to print. So what I'm going to ultimately end up with is the only printed parts will actually be fairly small, which is nice. And they're really just there to hold the bearings, so it'll be the bearing blocks, and the motor mounts. And that's pretty much it. The rest of it will be made out of the aluminum profile, and it's pretty sturdy. One quick note about the reason I designed the Z slides the way I did is because I've actually got everything lined up exactly for these two rails, and you can see one of them is longer than the other. And that's because when I was building this machine, initially I was only using one rail on each side to hold up the Z-axis, and I later decided that that wasn't sturdy enough and I needed to go to two. The original rails that I had on this machine were 400 millimeters. That's these guys. And when I looked at buying two more of those, it was actually cheaper for me to buy a 1 meter length rail and cut it in half than it was to buy two 400 millimeter rails. In fact, it was so much cheaper that it was cheaper for me to buy multiple 1 meter rails. In fact, I bought 4 of these for the same price as it would have cost to get 2 of these. These roughly 500 millimeter length ones, there's one here and one there on the machine that I just cut in half. So I designed the Z-axis to take advantage of the fact that I had 2 shorter ones and one longer one, or two shorter ones and 2 longer ones. So you'll see when the Z carriage is fully built, this is just one part of it. This part of the Z carriage will only go to there. There'll be another block here and one on this end, and that will provide the full length. And it'll actually give about 350 millimeters of travel, I think. No, it's more than that. I'll open up the CAD again and check, but it gives it more travel overall. So, and then, yeah, I guess have to add a lead screw down the center here. It's a pretty tight build. It's very, very tightly integrated, very constrained. And actually, there's a couple of spots where I'm not sure that I'm going to have enough space to build it, but we're going to try it and find out. The good news about this aluminum profile is it's so easy to attach whatever you need, wherever you need it. And then the motor will mount right here on the top. And yes, I'm putting the motors on the top instead of the bottom this time around, so they're easier to get to. Okay, the machine is gone. Okay, got the second side of the y-axis built up to the same point as the other one, and I've got actually both rails on both sides now. So these, all I have left to do is I have to add another 1 meter rail going from one side to the other, put another profile, aluminum profile going from one side to the other, and add a linear rail to that, and then put some 300 millimeter bracing in the middle to hold it up, and those will be done. The Z-axis, I've got one of these with a lead screw in, and it's actually very tight. I'm a little... I can't even turn it by hand, but it's all put together, and the motor is attached with the... let's see here, from the other side, with the coupler, and it's a very, very compact, tight design. And here we go, starting to build another Z-axis. So we'll see where this goes.